Power on.
That a lot of people desperately hope that they're good cops. They actually believe they're good cops. But in my opinion, if you're a good cop, you are dead set against taking a paycheck extracted through taxation, which is theft, because you would be against theft. As a matter of fact, you would see theft as criminality. And you're not going to be the beneficiary or the recipient of theft. Number two, a good cop is only doing good, even if he was given orders to do bad. He'd be dedicated to swiftly exposing and executing justice on those who violate the rights of the innocent. He wouldn't be out there violating the rights of the innocent, even if he was given orders to violate the rights of the innocent under the color of law. And number three, and this is vital, it underpins everything that I just said. He would be consistently reliant on his own conscience in all matters. He would absolutely not be an order follower. Order followers are immoral because they do what they're told regardless of what is right. We need cops who are moralists who do what is right regardless of what they're told. In the picture on the screen, we have a SWAT team from a sheriff's department in Florida. The guy to the far left is Rob. I had hoped that Rob was a good cop because I heard that he was going to appear on Chili's Delete Laws broadcast. Well, Chili ended up interviewing Rob, and it turns out Rob is just like every other cop, every other sheriff's deputy, every other sheriff, every other police chief. He's an order follower who does what he's told regardless of if it's right or not. And you would think in preparation for this interview, he would at least brush up on the First, Second, and Fourth Amendments. But he couldn't even be bothered to have a script ready so that he could answer Chili's simple question. And to me, that's really all you need to know about this guy. But wait, there's more. But first, I want you to take a look at his willful ignorance of your rights.
Do you know the Fourth Amendment?
Yeah, I do.
It's okay. I'm being honest, these are gotcha questions.
No,
These are
no,
gotcha.
no.
They are. They are gotcha because you have to know them or we gotcha.
But they shouldn't be gotcha questions for a guy who's in a profession called law enforcement, right? I mean, this is his job. It'd be like asking a doctor, do you know what the Hippocratic Oath is? Or asking an engineer, do you know what the structural load for that span of a flat roof should be? I mean, how thick do the beams need to be? Or asking a plumber, do you know how much water is going to flow through that 3/4 inch line in a minute? These people would just know the answer to the question because that's their profession. That's what they do for a living. But a law enforcer can't tell you what the Fourth Amendment is verbatim. It's not burned and seared into his heart. Can we even take this guy seriously if he doesn't know the basics? I bet most skateboarders know the rules of skate parks. But a law enforcement agent doesn't even know the law that underpins your rights? If you don't know the laws that underpin rights, then you work as an agent to undermine rights, Rob. The guy doesn't know the Fourth Amendment, knowing he's going to appear on Chili's broadcast and probably be asked about the Fourth Amendment. Actions speak louder than words, and the message couldn't be more clear. Rob's got time to play G.I. Joe Soldier Boy, but he can't be bothered with memorizing and upholding your rights.
So I don't want to
For procedure.
but get it from the beginning. The Fourth Amendment is the right of the people to be secure.
And their effects,
Person.
their homes, the person, their home, and yeah. I don't have the
Person, houses, papers, and effects against unreasonable searches and seizures, and no warrant shall issue.
But first, shall not be violated, Rob. The right of the people to be secure in their persons, houses, papers, and effects shall not be violated. And then no warrant shall issue but upon probable cause that a crime has been committed. If there were going to be marching orders for a task, and that task is to secure a person, his home, his papers, and effects, you would think they would commit that to memory at least to make it look like they cared. But Rob can't even muster that up.
But upon probable cause supported by oath or affirmation. So now Terry versus Ohio dramatically changes that. So no warrant shall issue but upon probable cause, no arrest shall happen but upon probable cause, supported by oath or affirmation of the victim. So back in 1791, you had to have kicked my dog, eat my porridge, stole my horse, and I went down to the president of the police bureau, filled out an oath or affirmation that you violated my rights, and now, Rob, you have probable cause to arrest me.
Yeah, but that's not how Rob thinks, and he's going to reveal that in a second, because all Rob thinks is, hey, if the politicians, the political parasites that you serve, that political class, writes a law for the law enforcement class to force upon the rest of us, that's what he's going to do. You don't have to have stolen anything. Rob is taking stolen loot in order to support his lifestyle through taxation, which is theft to buy a government gun. That makes it extortion. But Rob doesn't even have to see a crime be committed. He just needs to see you break and transgress a policy of his beloved political parasites. And then he will view you the way he's told to view you, as a criminal who must be brought to bear.
If there is a victim, there may not
Yes.
necessarily be a victim.
You put a gun to someone's head, you created a victim. You rob somebody, there's a victim. You kick someone's dog, you beat up their wife, there's a victim.
But if you're carrying drugs on your person or in your vehicle, there's not.
Okay, did you hear what Rob just said? If you carry drugs on your person or in your vehicle, there's not a victim. Exactly, Rob. But you're going to tell us later that you have arrested people who carry drugs on their person or in their vehicles. See, this is the diabolical inconsistency of statism. This is the mental illness thought process that goes on in every law enforcer's mind because he's just an order follower. He's not a man of conscience. He's not an agent of morality. He's an enforcer of political opinions, psychopathic political opinions.
The state you're in becomes the victim.
The state you're in becomes the victim. The state, the enigmatic state, there's no such thing as the state. The state is a mental construct. The government, there's no such thing as government. If there was such a thing as government, then you have the right to control me and I have the right to control you. If you don't have the right to rule me and I don't have the right to rule you, and I have no authority or claim over your property, then government doesn't exist, because that's exactly what government is defined to be. Governo in mentis, to control the mind, or mind control. It's all about controlling somebody against their will. That's what it means to be a governor. You want to govern someone. You want to control somebody, and the people that you're controlling or governing, you're doing it against their will in violation of their consent. That's what his profession is all about.
How do you feel about the war on drugs? And do you arrest people for drugs?
Oh, I have, plenty of times. Yes, sir.
I have arrested people for drugs even though there's no victim.
If you're carrying drugs on your person or in your vehicle, there's not.
Okay, and yet he conjures in his mind that the state is the victim if you carry plant matter, if you have white powdery substance, there's shake on the floor or in your vehicle.
What kind of drugs have you arrested for?
That's gotta be crack. Marijuana back in the day, we don't touch that much unless it's over 20 grams. That's just selling them out. You can still arrest for large amounts of marijuana, of course. But crack, cocaine, you name it. All your street drugs, prescriptions that are not yours, not properly in their,
How much drugs, Rob? How much drugs? Did you arrest somebody for having a hit of meth in their crack pipe? Did you arrest people for having
So let's be clear. Rob arrests people and kidnaps people and throws them into cages because Rob has been told to arrest, kidnap, and throw people into cages for possessing drugs. Now, if Rob was a police officer back in the 1920s, you can be sure that he would arrest people and kidnap people and cage people for possessing, buying, or selling alcohol. And you can also bet your bottom dollar that if Rob was a cop back in the 1850s, he would arrest you, cage you, and probably torture you for freeing slaves in violation of the Fugitive Slave Act. See, Rob is an order follower. He just does what the politicians tell him to do. If the politicians told Rob, okay, Rob, tomorrow we're going to make all drugs legal, then Rob wouldn't arrest anybody. Because it's not about keeping the people safe in the mind of Rob, it's about following orders. And if there is no law to arrest people for 20 pounds of cocaine, then Rob wouldn't do it. If tomorrow the politicians wrote a law telling Rob, we need you to arrest, kidnap, and cage anybody that you find with any amount of rose petals, Rob would do it because now rose petals would be illegal in the mind of order follower Rob. That's how dangerous law enforcers are. They just do what they're told regardless of what is right. And then they give the excuse, I was just following orders, as though his evil deeds could be absolved by pushing the blame onto somebody else. Rob is actually worse than a politician. Because while the evil politicians, and they are evil, merely write the laws, people like Rob put those laws into action. He's the enforcer breaking your door down at 2 o'clock in the morning because they got a call. He's the guy who's gonna shoot your pet because, officer safety. This is the man who's gonna interrupt your day and harass you and give you a $250 ticket for not wearing your seatbelt. Because that's what he was told to do. That alone makes Rob evil. And any cop who's willing to do what Rob does cannot be a good cop. Now Chili asked Rob about the resignation loophole where a cop can commit a crime and he's about to be charged with that crime, but he gets to resign before he's charged with the crime or fired, and then he gets to keep his pension and he stays out of jail. Here's the question and Rob's response.
When a cop violates someone's rights, they get a complaint, they beat them up, and then I file a complaint against you because they're all beating me up, and then before I get a chance to have internal affairs investigated, or you should be charged with crime if you don't, then you can resign and keep your pension and just go to the next police department. What do you think about that?
So I have seen the resignation in lieu of being terminated and ultimately having your state certification pulled. I've seen that happen numerous times, and I'll see it a lot more throughout my career.
At your agency?
I've seen that in my agency, but
So
not,
then you do have bad cops in your agency.
but not in these circuit. Guys have done some really stupid things. I'll get into that.
Previously, he had said there are no bad people within our agency, and I'll show you the clip here in a second.
But not when someone else was harmed. I've never seen that be an alternative when someone else was harmed. I've seen people abuse the pay system. Taking on their time, taking a detail, right? Taking a detail while working their regular scheduled hours with the sheriff's office. The sheriff's office is paying them, plus whoever the detail crew is also paying them, so it's double dipping.
That's called theft, Rob. It's theft.
And, yeah.
And you saw it happen, and you didn't call out your thin blue line buddy? Why is that, Rob? Have you participated and partook in theft? Have you ridden the clock? Have you lied on reports? Have you covered for thin blue line evil?
And obviously you can't be in two places at one time, do two jobs at one time. And that's been found out, and obviously guys said, hey, look, you're getting your internal affairs. Guys have, resigned while under investigation, and ultimately they've been able to keep their certifications that way from what I understand. So,
Well, you
yeah,
still have
they've
to
done really stupid things, yeah.
Let me get to the question again.
Mhm.
Should police be able to resign and the offense not go on their jacket, and then be able to escape investigation and be able to keep their pension? Those are the specific questions I'm trying to get to.
No, not if it's something egregious, like you said, like if you've beaten someone, you've actually done harm to another person, absolutely not.
No harm like put the torture cuffs on them, giving them permanent nerve damage, giving them PTSDs because they were held at gunpoint, shot their dog, dislocated their shoulder like they did to Karen Garner. By the way, Austin Hopp and Daria Jalali, neither of them are in prison. Neither is Sergeant Metzger.
I have seen, an officer resign, but still the charges, pursued still.
Chili tells Rob that the outcome of police policy typically results in the trampling of unalienable rights and the caging of innocent people. So he's asking Rob about his particular police policy. Rob says,
Policy, procedure, everything, I'll tell you now, if you were to look at my particular agency policy and procedure, I stand by every one of them. I think we have a great policy and procedure. I don't think that anything we do, would make anyone, feel, unsafe or like we're malicious or anything like that.
I stand by every one of my policies and procedures, says Rob.
Isn't your policy to put people in torture cuffs when you detain them?
So we think torture cuffs, I call them handcuffs, they suck, they're uncomfortable, but it's not torture.
You admitted it yourself that they're horrible, they're painful, they hurt everybody.
Yeah.
So that they are horrible and painful, says Rob, but they're not torture. I want us all to take note of this hypocrisy and inconsistency.
And if that's your policy, why do you stand by it?
They don't necessarily hurt everyone, they do hurt, they're uncomfortable, metal is on your wrist. Actually, I'm a wider shouldered guy, so if I put on one set of handcuffs, yeah, my hands are pulling against that, and it is damn uncomfortable.
It's not just your wrist, Officer Rob, it's also your shoulders and your back. Every second that you're stuck in like this position, every minute you're here, you're gonna spend 5 minutes after they're off going, oh my God, my back
You
is
know what?
kinked.
And they're fucking hard to put on sometimes.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
not good for the cops either, really. When we're fighting with somebody,
They're painful, they're horrible, and they're not good for the cops either. I mean, it's very difficult sometimes for us to put those painful, horrible torture devices on your wrist. See how we got to go through some tough stuff too. As we're violating your rights and we're trying to torture you with these torture cuffs, it's just very hard to put these things on. It's like the executioner complaining about a dull blade before it hits your neck. Dang, it's hard on us executioners. We gotta take two swipes instead of one. This is nothing short of psychopathy, Rob. Can you not see it?
they're only about gay life, right? And trying to get a guy who's got wide shoulders just to get his wrist together. It just doesn't happen. You know, a lot of times it's double them up.
Yeah, because it's torture, because it's horrible, because it's painful by your own admission.
It's just not a good tool. It's what we have until something better comes along. But yeah,
It's a horrible, painful tool of torture, but hey, it's all we got right now until something better comes along. I guess we just gotta use it. We gotta torture people.
we call them torture cops. If I was going to torture somebody, it wouldn't be with us. I promise you that.
Oh,
So,
Rob,
you know,
I'm not
people, they're touch toys to some people, right? And they're pleasure cups to some people.
people who are sadists. Yeah.
I'm so glad Shirley said that. Yeah, they're pleasurable to people who are sadists, to people whose minds aren't right, Rob.
People who are sadists. This is where I plant my flag in the ground and I say, I stand over here, Rob. Because like I said, I'm not going to jump wrong. I vehemently disagree with you. And like, sit on the floor. Like, I totally disagree with you.
Not only is he torturing people, he's torturing people as he's being funded by the very people that he's torturing.
Torture cups are always torture. And you cannot sit here with me, sir, and say you back up every policy of your police department when your policy is detainment equals cuffs. Is that a fair assessment?
I'm sorry, what was the question?
So what I said was, I completely disagree with you. You said that you stand by every policy of your police department, but if I looked up your police department, it would show that detainment equals you put people in cuffs, as you're gonna call them, right? So how can you stand by that when you know that the cuffs hurt so badly? And by the way, you're putting me in cuffs because someone called and you're suspicious of me.
You know, we loosen them up. Like I said, we loosen them up. We try to give room. If we arrest someone, and even if they were a piece of shit, they're running from us, whatever, they fought with us. When we get back to the car, he's like, hey man, can you loosen them up? We've done that thousands of times. Literally thousands of times. Just loosen them up for people. It's not our desire to make your wrist hurt. That's not what we want to do.
We want our captives to be comfortable. So if they complain, even if they were pieces of shit, they ran from us, they talked back to us, they challenged our authority, even if they were pieces of shit, we'll loosen up the torture cuffs. We'll make it less painful for them. But if they're not designed for comfort, this guy's looking for mental equilibrium because he's suffering from cognitive dissonance. That's mental disharmony. He's looking to bring things back into harmony by cop-splaining. Because on the one side, he's trying to tell people they're not torture cuffs. This is just what we do. On the other side, he's already admitted they're painful, they're horrific, they're horrendous. They can cause some serious pain and do in most cases. So you got two contradictory beliefs fighting at the same time, and cognitive dissonance seeks to equalize those contradictions through cop-splaining. And that's what he's struggling with right now. This doesn't make him less of a psychopath, but it does allow him to sleep a little bit better at night by feeding himself a constant stream of lies. He knows what he's doing is wrong. He's already admitted it. He's already admitted that it's torture, but then he says, I wouldn't call them torture cuffs. He's already admitted that transporting and possessing drugs doesn't create a victim, but then he says, but the state's a victim. So he's got to constantly find a way to justify his own legalized criminality against people he claims to be protecting and serving. This is one of the reasons cops suffer from severe cases of PTSD to the point where there's so many people suffering intensely from it that one of the number one causes of death among the ranks of law enforcement and former law enforcement is self-offing.
But they do hurt.
They do, and that was just by design. It's not like that's what we're trying to do.
By design, they hurt. It's not what we're trying to do. Wait a minute. What you are trying to do is you're putting those that are by design meant to cause horrendous pain. You're enforcing laws and following orders and policies and procedures and protocols and putting those torture devices that you already admitted are torture onto people, and then you're saying that's not what we're trying to do. It's just by design. The nature of the beast. I gotta do it. We're told to do it. That's our policy. Listen again, this is psychologically fascinating.
But they do hurt,
They do, and that was just by design. It's not like that's what we're trying to do. I mean, I've had to take, I gave you Baker Acts for an instance. Some of those Baker Acts were juveniles, and I've had to arrest juveniles, right? Detain them, put them in the handcuffs.
torture cuts are off.
I do them in the front. Hey,
We even put torture cuffs on little kids, Robson. I do it, Robson.
Still can't fucking see. Okay. It don't even fucking matter. Let's see. I guess I can do to roll it this way so it's more fun. I guess. Alright, so yeah, so this thing, so I know it sucks because you bought that job, but what do you do? You put it in, it's doing it for nothing. Yeah. So what you paying for it? Whoever you're talking about, online or?
No, I think there's receipts in the front. It was yeah, I got it at the O'Reilly's.
Oh, good, good.
And
Okay. So then you don't
oh,
have
you
to
got
go through all that. Thanks for that.
Oh.
So then you don't have to go through all that shit.
yeah.
Return it online. Seeing that you got it at O'Reilly's, you could just tell them too that, give it a week.
Yeah.
You probably got 30 days. Probably got 30 days.
Yeah.
No more vibrating. So it's smooth.
Oh, okay.
Right? See that your shit's still working. I'm trying
Yeah.
to put that in the channel.
Yeah, yeah.
So I think it's good. Really good parts, but I'm that thing's already not vibrating.
No, it was still yeah, yeah, yeah.
Okay.
I'll let you know if it's like driving and stuff like that. Oh, good. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, well, those times I was driving, and like this whole side was from that. But, yeah, I'll let you know.
Well, if you want to just go for a ride around the block and let me know. Go ahead, go for a ride. Take it for a ride and let me know.
Okay.
But I don't think so, because usually I seen it happen. I ran it so many times. That's a different. It's a different one. It's not a clanging. This one sounds more like when you're hitting on rubber, but I could be wrong. Still snow. That stuff's working really good still, right?
Yep.
All right, good. Shut it off for me.
Yep.
You don't have an Albert flashlight in your car, do you?
I got 2 on my head.
Oh shit. There was nothing that he, when he did the frontage out there, it's too far back. There's nothing broken there, and now we stopped the vibration of the clanging inside. The sound that I just heard now sounded like it was plastic, but I'm looking again, just like the first day you brought it.
Yeah.
When you said you got stuff on that thing,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
it sounded like it was hitting on something, right?
Right.
So I'm looking again now. This where it sounded like it was hitting from is that stupid canister that goes to nothing. I still don't know what it is. Remember I was telling you before.
Yeah.
I've seen it on the caps too. I've seen the other parts of the exhaust, but that don't make a noise. And a little bit of clicking is in a rubber boot. Should not be. I'm at the same time I'm looking, I'm kind of just letting the exhaust go down a little bit.
Yeah, yeah.
Your dad dropped you off, right?
My girlfriend just did, so
Okay.
I might have to have her pick if you're gonna keep it.
I think I can try to fix what it's doing real quick.
Yeah.
I want to try it. If this is what it actually is making the noise. And it could have been when it was vibrating more, it might
Yeah.
have done it more. Give me, Alright, fire it up and let me see, I'm gonna see, let me hit it again.
Yep.
The vibration's back a little bit.
Yeah.
More so than what it was. And I'm noticing it because if you come back here, see, back here, you look down in there.
Yep.
Alright, so I'm watching this bounce around. That's where the noise was coming from. The clicking was coming from inside here, inside where the grabber was.
Yep.
I moved the boot around, I moved the rubber around, so I wanted to see maybe I'm wondering what's clicking. If it's all rubber around it, why is it clicking, right?
Yep.
So I started moving around it, and all of a sudden the clicking went away. Now I can hear the rubber boot. I have to hit it hard in order to get it to bounce up. So now while I'm looking at that, I'm noticing that it slowed down a little bit, but the vibration was just there even more than this.
Yep.
So it's very carboned up, obviously, still, because I still got white smoke coming out, right?
Yeah.
I'm gonna try one thing, let you run with it, and then it'll take me 5 minutes. Let me try it,
Okay.
run with it, and then let me know. Hang on the muffler another day or two, okay? I ain't got time anyway over the weekend or whatever. If it turns out we want to do it, but
Okay.
the muffler's not bad. There's no holes in it.
Yep.
There's no rips. As long as it's not vibrating, then the noise ain't there. So I think the real trick is staying on that idea of I got back pressure and I move the bag up here. My son revs the engine, the bag flies out. You know, it's
Yep.
so I don't think that you got. But what I will tell you is this: a lot of water coming out still.
Yeah.
When you take off, yeah. What to do is so you can see it for yourself.
Yep.
When you first start it up in the morning or whenever, have somebody else drive off and take that, step on the gas a little when you drive up the street,
Yep.
and then you'll watch, just like you just did now.
Yeah.
Water poured out.
Wow.
It smells carbon dust, but I don't see any evidence through the spark plugs that you have any head gasket leaking into the exhaust system.
Yep.
I didn't see any evidence for that last time because we looked at that, right?
Yeah. Yeah. You said you
I did. So, you know, well, now we got the plug, so we know there's no. When I took these out, we had. This is would have been hearing it crazy last time. Just got an idle shaking around. So when I stand there, I can smell real strong carbons, right? So it's still clean, and now that all your plugs are firing, it's gonna clean even better. And you won't be running on 3 cylinders. Did you notice a difference in power? when you
Yeah,
went up?
I see that more, yeah.
Fucking water, man. I would say a half a cup of water. It's just going up the street. So that was, it rained.
Yep.
And that always seems to be the hard thing. Every time I got this here for moist, 150
Right.
a day, then, you know, you gotta worry about that stuff, you know?
Right, do that.
Getting ready to bring that boat down, right? You should,
Need some light or you
No, it's gonna be a feeling thing. I had to look at my neighbor Ray's car too. He's older and he gets really fucking frustrated. So he get, I said 20 minutes. I told him so yesterday I did his fender. I fixed his fender for him.
Yep.
Spray painted. You'll see it when you drive by. He's on the right hand side when you drive up Melville. You'll see his little Subaru, blue Subaru, right? And so yesterday he brought me this thing. It's like we're a couple hours late. He does that a lot too. Like the day before I did that, he was mad because I was on my way out. It was 12 o'clock. He was supposed to be at 10, right?
Yep.
And then I finally get the car, and then I did that, did the work, that, did. Oh no, I didn't do it that day because I told him I was on my way to So then, whatever. So then yesterday, I finally got him and I said, let's do that fender. Okay, and then we got the paint after color paint and everything like that. I told him, I said, you gotta leave the car for a couple hours in the garage after I paint it. It's supposed to rain tonight. Don't worry about it. It's okay, but the thing is, it's gonna ruin this. We wasted $40 that we just put into it. So why don't we just leave it in the garage and come get it in the morning? And he's in a rush to go. So, anyways, long story long, I let it go. So today I said, called him up and I said, I want to come by and look at the fender. See how it came out. Yeah, it looks great. I've been showing it to everybody. It's fucking fine. It's fine.
there's all bubble now.
Fucking. So I said, dude, you never put plastic over it. Nah, fuck that. It's fine. It's fine. So once I started showing them, I'm like, look, the bubbles, these are gonna all bubble out. That's water coming from behind now.
Hey, I gotta, sorry to cut you off.
Yes,
Do you have a bathroom I can
yeah.
use?
Go right in that door, right on the right hand side.
Thank you.
Yep.
Okay.
So I'm thinking so that we had, I think we got two different sounds we had going on. The clanging that was
Yep.
the inside of the muffler before. I've not heard that yet. Even when you're pulling in, that was a different sound.
Okay.
It's still a clanking, but that was a clanging before, and now it was like a plasticky sound. I cannot even imitate the plastic sound, but what I can make happen is make that thing slop around in there, and it does go a little bit. It sounds metal on metal, but it's in a rubber fitting.
Yeah.
So you got the metal hook in the rubber fitting, right?
Yeah.
So when I slap it around, something around somewhere's clicking. So what I did was I used that goop, and he said to put all inside the hole of the rubber, both sides, because there wasn't quite a lot of play.
Yeah.
Especially around this side, a lot of play. So now by putting that, that's going to hold it a little tighter so that it won't, even when vibrating.
Yep.
The other issue we got going on is the vibration. We want it to be less and less. Maybe from you going around the block, the water in the system and whatever's going on is going to still be making it run rough. Now, we know the flapper's closing all the way now, and on that throttle body. So we knew that there was no gas going through there, but what happens is when everything backs up like that, the carbon goes in places where we're not supposed to be. So that's how the carbon got up there in the first place.
Oh, okay.
Because it went backwards through the exhaust where the cats are clogged.
Yep.
Even a restriction doesn't have to be a total stop, just a slowdown of it. Let's say you step on it,
Yep.
and then if it's not all coming out the exhaust, it'll go back up. Once it hits the map sensor and any of that stuff, then it usually sets all the sensors out. You weren't getting that.
Yeah.
That's the weird thing. The whole time we were driving it, the cats were bad. You weren't getting
Yeah.
sensors.
It didn't go off until I got it inspected. That check engine.
Yeah.
That's weird.
Yeah. Even the O2 sensors should have been going off when the cats were bad. You know, because they were sending it back. So you did the best of the way, in my opinion, that you could possibly do with it. You didn't want to go right to the seat foam because it breaks up. It's not guaranteed, but it takes a chance that big chunks could break out and cause damage somewhere. So if you take it easy, use the couple that you tried, the exhaust cleaner, that doesn't break anything off in big chunks. That's going to clean out the powder and shit out of the exhaust. And what that does, that exhaust cleaner is it burns in spots where the exhaust don't necessarily get as hot. It's easy to clean it up where the cap was 1200 degrees, but 800 to 600 degrees back here, it doesn't do anything. That's why I was thinking, all right, so it's worth doing a muffler if the muffler's clogged.
Yeah.
Prove that it's clogged. But then again, if it's only rattling, that would drive me crazy, and it's also worth doing the muffler.
Right.
But if the muffler's only making a noise rattling because of the running so rough, that's why the first time you said my dad put his foot and it went away, that doesn't solve the problem. And then we'll change the muffler and they'll still fucking do it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So we can put the new one on, and if we don't find out what's actually, if it's the motor running rough, what's going to stop the new one from doing the same thing? You see it's shaped the same, it's got the same L bracket, so whatever is actually hitting that I can't figure out, whatever is going click, 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 but that's going click, like click. It's not going, and that's what this is a whole different thing.
Right.
And it's not hitting or nothing. That's the weird thing. It's not like when you pulled in, I saw this go like this up against there, but that's what it sounded like.
It did.
Yeah, it sounds like plastic.
Yeah.
So that tinny sound that we were hearing before inside the muffler, that doesn't seem to be, I've not heard that. I ran it for hours. And that I was hearing before, I could hear that at an idle especially. Because as soon as the motor wanted to choke out.
Yeah.
And it all makes sense, because if the throttle body's not closing all the way, you can understand why the motor wants to choke up, because it's misreading. And the other thing is about the electronic valve bodies. I just don't like to play with them because sometimes they're in conjunction with another door that's inside that I can't even see. So you go flip it open, clean it, and then the next thing you know, when you start the car back up, the computer's not reading both doors at the same time. It could be that simple. Sometimes it's on that simple. So I've had them where I just didn't know that, so I did it, and I clean it, and then I find out later, and I charge somebody, just charged me $150 to fix the car, and I broke the car, cost me another $2,000. Right? So I learned my lesson not to do that.
Oh, okay.
It's not worth it. We did the best we could with the spray foam. That's the best we could do.
Okay.
And it did work because now it's not clogged up.
Yeah.
And that was probably just because the hotter fuel made a hotter fuel body, which made even the air area, even though the fuel wasn't going up that far, the whole body's getting hotter.
Yeah.
And by, I don't know, 30, 40 degrees, it's enough to knock that carbon off and make it small enough to close the door. And I'm sure what I sprayed too probably took like a week or two also, you know. Because like I said, it goes in, it absorbs into the carbon, and then it's got to heat up a lot in order for it to break apart and fall apart. So I think we're doing the best that you can do. Try that for, hang on them up for a day or two.
Yep.
If it seems like it's straightened out, or you're like, it's still running kind of rough, that'll explain my clicking. And then we'll know if the rubber that I put in there is going to stop it from moving, and that may solve the whole problem.
Okay.
And if not, then bring it back and I'll do the motor. But I just don't want you to do $200 a fucking motor.
Right.
100, 150 probably, or whatever, depending on what happens. But still, might need I don't know what slip colors I might need another $30, $40 in parts. Because even though you've got the right stock size, it might not be. I have to go in and then in. So I have to go in, and if it doesn't do that, then I have to go get the sleeve, cut the exhaust back even more, right? So if we don't have to do it, then why should you spend the money?
Yeah.
That's my opinion.
All right. I appreciate it.
I know I've been going through this a lot lately, so maybe I'm over-explaining it, but
I appreciate it.
I had a couple other people that did something similar, and I appreciate it. I don't have no change right now.
Yeah. I mean, you just, that's
Thanks, man. Appreciate it. I had a girl, Liz. I don't know if you know Liz. Probably she knows everybody in town too. But she had her Toyota van, and she told me about a month ago that she wanted me to change the coil. It's the one in the back. They're a bitch to get it. You got to haul half the fucking top of the engine, right? To get at the 3 back coils. So before I did it, I wanted to make sure. I said, who told you that it needs a coil? What coil is number 6 and all this? Garage told me this. I said, all right, I don't believe it because I see too much shit going on. So I want to look at the computer. So I bring my computer over, I put it on, and it's saying random misfires. Only code showing, no other one, right? So I told her, I said, it's not worth doing that then because it's not number 6, it's random. So sometimes it's going to read this one, that one, this one. So that's being clogged cap. Saying clogged cap is the most likely reason. So that could set off your map sensor of shit, right? So she texts me, says, I'm not going to do that because now I found out that the whole front end's working. They wouldn't give me a front end alignment because they said my struts were bad. I said, that doesn't make any sense because the struts don't have nothing to do with front end alignment. Didn't they do that with you too at one time?
No,
They wouldn't give you the alignment. Oh no, you didn't go for alignment. You went. Someone else said it was going to be your struts and ended up being your tie rod, right?
well, I got it inspected last year, and they told me, just have your front end looked at because one wheel's loose. That's all he said. He said, don't do Mustang stuff. When your tires loose. He didn't tell me what to look for. I figured tie rod. That's what I figured.
Yeah.
But you said it was
the
tie rod,
bearing.
bearing.
Yeah, the bearing. Yeah, the bearing was worse than the tie rod.
Yeah.
Well, when we had it, you see that.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. That's the nice thing about having it in hand, and the nice thing about like what I'm going through with all you guys are able to actually come and look and see what is going on rather than we have at the garage. I guess it's not as easy. Like Ray stayed here earlier, and he was going through a similar thing. He was mad about taking them off the light, like I was saying.
Yeah.
And I said, why are you going to put that Cooper on the outside? You don't even, it says, it'll take 20 minutes. We'll take the back panel off. And then I got it over here, and it was a lot more. Okay, so we had like 8 bolts holding back on, but I didn't know that until we started.
Right.
So rules are different. So you have to take this whole other panel off. So you do this the whole time. And I'm like, look, I said, there's nothing, what's the big deal? I said, it's much better. I'm so glad when we took the fucking light out. The seal was broken all the way around. So we would have put, no matter what we did to the front of the light, it had to come out. So then I was like, now I can show you, see, this is why. So then I used that glue, sealed the whole fucking thing up, put it back together, and it was out of here maybe an hour and a half. So, a little longer than 20 minutes I thought, but at least it's done right.
Yeah, at least he knows what
Water was coming out of the fucking light bulb and out of the socket and everything. So hadn't done.
Yep.
And then her van comes back and said, so I said, all right. I said, I just don't understand when she tells me I want the coils on anyway.
Yeah.
So I said, all right, fine, things all right. I hooked the computer up again. This is a month later after the first time.
Yeah.
Hook it up. Now it's 1, 5, and random. So the first message was random. I right in front of her, showed her the code, and it was 1. Next one was 5, no 6. So you wanted me to fix 6. Then we would put it all back together, and the next time we would say 1 to 5. You understand? So I said, that's why it's not worth doing. Find the actual problem first, and then we'll go from there. So there's no sense in, especially she don't have the money.
Right.
She really, nobody does right now.
No, that's why I keep telling you, hey, if you can do it, I'll pay you later. That's why.
Yeah, everybody's like, it's like that right now. I understand. I totally get it.
Sucks.
It's
Getting
totally
parts and then it's like,
And then, right, so if I was a fucking dick, that's why I know it's tough, because everybody's thinking, listen, you got the parts already, right?
Yeah.
Same thing with her, she's got the
Right.
oil,
Right.
right? And I'm saying, don't do it, because she's like, but I already got the part. I said, I know, but think about it. You're gonna pay me 2-3 hours to take the part to the top of the motor, get to the coil, put it all back together, and then have the same problem. So why pay the labor?
Right.
Not that I don't, I used to work,
Right,
but
right.
I mean, you guys are gonna go crazy paying me, even if you told me later, she's doing the same thing,
Yep.
right? That I was telling you, because I do that for people, and then she can pay me later. I'm saying to her, think about it. If we do all the front end work, gonna pay me later. You're gonna owe me all after that. We're gonna do the coils, which is totally useless. $1,200 for a cap because it's part of the manifold. It's not like yours, so she has no choice but to buy the factory one. Yeah. So all of that. And then what? And then so I can't talk about it. And then the struts. So anyways, she's like, yes, I still want to do it. So I said, all right. So I put the jack under there, dude.
Yep.
Look under there, make sure that I'm jacking the right. I came out, I pulled the jack. I said, bro, put down. I threw the fucking mat down on the ground. I said, go look. I made her go land it on. I said, go look. Here's the flashlight. No fucking H-frame.
Wow.
H-frame was rotted all the way down the line. I cannot believe the motor was still sitting in the car. If I would have jacked that up, forget it.
Yeah.
Yep. It's like this much left on 2 little sides of the H-frame. The whole underneath was gone all the way front to rear, right? And then at the end where the H-frame goes like this to make the H, it was so freaking stressed out. You could see it split and stressed. Probably because everything being so rotted, it stressed that corner, you know? So,
Just be careful getting under cars and shit.
I know, right? Well, I asked Ray when he was here today, I said, she's probably still driving, right? He said, oh, yeah. She's crazy. She's crazy.
Yeah.
She's definitely putting out with the kids in the car. She says, you know, she's got grandkids and shit. But yeah, so imagine if she would have went, so I said, why did the sticker guy not tell you?
Yeah.
Why did the fucking front end guy? I'm going, can you come to the garage with me to get my $80 back for my front end alignment? I said, no, because I have that check. Anybody would have told you that it's all rotted out.
Yeah.
I don't know why they didn't tell you. They should have just said, no, you ain't getting the front end alignment. You better jump. Oh, fucking junkyard.
Yeah.
You know, you're lucky we don't rent out with the garages. We're supposed to just call and just have the car junk right there. We see a bad frame. Even an H-frame. Even if it's an H-frame. But if it's the rear frame where you have to do a total frame on restoration, they for sure, there's no way around it because it's not worth it. You have to total. And I don't even think the insurance can cover that. Insurance covers it. So everybody's getting dogged left and right, money-wise. Ray did it to himself with a paint job because Mr. Rush's fucking rush.
Yeah.
So he went home, let it stay out in the rain, didn't take the time to put plastic. Guys, all you gotta do is lift the hood, put the plastic in there, shut the hood, and then lay it over your barrel or something like that. I said, I know, but now you just wasted $40 for the paint. He didn't have the money to pay, so he's gonna pay later too, right? So you know what I'm saying? Something like, why would you want to waste the money? It's not worth it. Even though it's only $40, that's a lot of money to him right now. He's having a hard time.
Bills or everything, food. I just took my girlfriend and her son out to eat, right? And $99 Cracker Barrel. It's like, are you kidding me? Hey, I gotta get going. Thank you, man.
Yeah, that would only been $60.
Yeah, yeah. Hey, thanks.
Yeah, just definitely let me know. See a day or two, let me know. Whatever the day or two, I want to see it run a little bit cleaner when that stuff through, improves that theory that it's really.
So it's got seafood thing now.
That's right.
Rolls, water balloons.
I don't even know what's gonna happen throughout that. We're fill up next, and that sequel is all already done. We did text them, running better, running the same, running shittier, no more moisture, sauce, whatever. I don't know, hopefully that's what we'll be. And then when it is, I still, I'm thinking, let's stop shaming that rubber exhaust wedge. I think is my next approach to this. I'll find something like, it's gotta be, this is gonna be a one thing, but let's just hold it away from the body with the bones, right? And I can even put a soft cap on it to make sure it don't bubble. And then that'll eliminate the noise and not cause you to have to go through the exhaust is fucked up, let's go to the out, we'll change it. Or if it's the inside rattling and not stop, okay. But I think the inside rattling is stop now. Run that through. Remember now that you also is a way, you basically weren't even putting the last two release. Because now it's been finer than it. So it'll run smoother and smoother. So yeah, you're trying to get it. This good stuff is go ahead and try to look like you
How you doing with your boat?
Good, good. I'm just listening. Good. Yeah, it's going good, man. I'm ready to go. I'm gonna call Gene today and see what he's gonna hit me to bring it down there. I gotta have it trailer down.
Yep.
I was gonna register it, but I'm ready to write on the sign that I'm looking for a partner, and then I'm gonna set it up down there for a week or two, and then it'll stay right on the main sign.
Yeah, so far no that.